I know. Wait, yes, hold on. Yay! Epic.
You want to just send it to me and I can...
It's okay, I got it. Yeah, no, I got it hidden. Hold on.
Whoa, what is that?
What? I like hid it, yeah, because I can't.
Is that an Apple thing or an Apple?
It's an Apple thing.
I can put it in.
Okay, awesome. Link. That's the first one. Lim. Sorry that took so long.
All right, hi guys, welcome to Ktalks. So raise your hand if you've never been to a Ktalk before. Awesome, okay, cool. Let me tell you a little about it. So Ktalks has been a senior storytelling tradition, series of events for at least the past 10 years. And so first we were called Kumba Talks, which Kumba is just to create community, and that was our goal. And Kumba is a Swahili word, meaning to create community and foster those connections and stuff. So yeah. The core events that we have a mentoring process which spans over a few weeks. And so we have some awesome mentors here right now who've helped our speakers kind of craft their talks and flesh their ideas. So woo! Another important event is our potluck, which happens right before Ktalks, and so that's just where we come bring food, spread love, share food and stuff, and help speakers further flesh out their ideas. And yeah, and of course, Ktalks.
Amazing. Yeah, so I'm going to talk about how tonight's going to work. Basically, we have 4 amazing speakers tonight, and they're each going to give 15 to 20-minute talks, and we're going to have about a 15-minute intermission between the second and the third talk. So we ask that you try to stay seated if you can until that intermission. That would be amazing. And then really quick, can you guys hear me in the back?
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, excellent. Okay, I think that's all we have. So without further ado, let's welcome Nico, our first speaker.
Thank you, Evan, for that lovely introduction. Thank you, Vic. Real happy, real pleased to be here tonight, guys. Just real quick, let's go around the room, name and pronouns, just before I get started. Let's start with you. Just messing around, guys. A little bit of crowd work. Fuck. Okay. While I get the set up, I'm really grateful to my 3 mentors, Hayes and Kate and Sophie. Hayes is here, the other 2 are not. I love them very much. How do I unlock this computer?
It's fine. It's fine. Sorry. All right, plug it in.
Awesome. We don't have a PA who can do this.
I got it. That's it.
Okay, sweet.
Whoa! No!
Oh man.
Wait, pass it back. I got it.
Okay. In the meantime, how's everyone's fucking day going or whatever? Good? Are we excited? Yes! Ktalks, dude, the reverb on the speaker is insane. I feel like I'm about to start tapping or something.
That's not.
Awesome.
That's not.
It's all part of the plan.
That's not what's on my screen. No!
You have it on the screen extension. If you press Windows P, you can change the setup of the monitors. That's the kind of knowledge I'm bringing to these Ktalks, man. Should I just keep on vamping, or is it gonna be on?
No! Hey, my bad. Hold on.
All right, I'm freestyling this right now.
Do a rap.
Someone give me a beat. No. No, don't do that. Sober white guy freestyle at Ktalks. So yeah, I'm just really glad that the 80 of us are finally hanging out, man. You know, it's been a long time coming, all of us getting together in this basement. Inshallah, these slides. No. No. Well, let me tell you guys a bit about the other three speakers that we have here tonight. We have three other speakers. We have Cesar Shapiro, Tess Vogel, and Sophie Lynn. And yeah, you know them, you love them, they're amazing. 4 banger talks in a row. I'm going first, which is a really just terrifying prospect, especially because you have to get up here and you have to just riff for 10 minutes with no material. And you have to pretend that you're comfortable in front of a crowd of people while you have literally no control over what's happening. And actually, that's a really interesting theme in my talk. Now that I mention it, lack of control. Let's start there. Just kidding. When the slides get on the screen.
Sorry, like, wait.
That's okay. Okay, I can just hang out all day, man. That's what I'm here for. You guys are paying me for this, right?
This is the worst. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Anyone else want to turn on the mic? I'm not giving you the mic. I'm not giving her the mic. Yeah, man. What do you do for work? Awesome. Awesome. Dude, you're an amazing crowd. You're an amazing crowd. Just happy to be here. Real happy, real pleased. Just to be contributing to this franchise. You know, I'm just taking it one game at a time. Sophie, how are you feeling about your talk?
I'm shitting bricks, man.
Yeah, what do you think I'm doing up here, man?
You're doing great, though.
Thank you, person who said that. I appreciate that. I really need to hear that right now. Honestly, guys, I'm like at a really insecure time in my life. So like, it's like kind of no. I actually doing really good. That's part of what the talk is about. Hey, can we put the fucking slides up on the?
Yes.
Oh, drag it over. Drag it over.
Wait, I know what's happening.
Oh, something's happening.
Something's happening.
Yeah, the harder you clap, the quicker the slides will come on the.
I'm so sorry.
Clap if you want me to keep vamping. Thanks, guys. Thank you. I'm kind of like a performer at heart, so this is really nothing for me. That was a joke. Dang. I think my parents are watching this right now. Is it being live streamed? Yeah?
Oh yeah.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. They're watching because I was really excited when I got chosen to do this. So it's been a pretty incredible opportunity. And yeah! Let's fucking go. Those are my slides.
Those are your slides. I'm not.
Can you tell I'm excited?
Yes. All right. I guess they work.
Okay. Let me get my timer going so I don't talk for 30 minutes. Let me just. I'm pressing the button. Arrow keys? Oh, arrow keys. Oh, I didn't think about that. Geniuses. It's not working. Fuck. Wait. Let me. Okay. Yay. Okay. I'm self-sufficient. Okay. Guys, welcome to my Ktalks. Yay! We did it, man. Wow, we did it. That actually was all part of the routine to get you guys warmed up. Evan paid me $20 to do that. Let's get started. I want to talk to you a little bit about one of my favorite movies of all time. Who has seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off? A lot of people have seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It's absolutely one of my favorite movies. And my dad showed it to me when I was little, and I loved it because it was really, really funny. I thought it was hilarious. I loved the bits in it. That was like kind of like I do sketch comedy here. That was like a sketch comedy like intro course. For me, it was huge. And I watched it again recently on Marty, just completely violently hungover and also drunk at the same time. I don't know how that happened. And I noticed something completely different about it. I found that Ferris Bueller's Day Off, actually, real quick, if you haven't seen it, I should probably explain the plot. Ferris Bueller is about a guy named Ferris Bueller, and he's really awesome and really fun, and he wants to show his friend a good time, his friend Cameron. And Cameron hates his life. He's super duper depressed. He's completely opting out of life. He doesn't like being about, he doesn't want to enjoy the beautiful day, and Ferris wants to be out with him and his girlfriend, take them out on a beautiful day, and he does. And he shows Cameron an amazing time. And Cameron is the kind of guy who doesn't think that he should have an amazing time. He's not very fun in the way that Ferris is, but Ferris shows him how to do that, how to be more like him, how to opt in. Ferris Bueller's Day Off is a movie about opting in. This is what my talk is about. And because I'm a fucking genius, I'm going to use this as a clever framing device for the rest of it. So I warmed you up with a little pop culture, and then now we're going to get fucking real. And that's what's about to happen. Because there was a time in my life, very recently, where I was not opting in. And this reverb is really messing me up right now. I'm not going to lie. I feel like I'm preaching. And the Lord, no. Can we can fix that? Thank you, PA. Whoa, hello. Is this better? Oh, amazing. Okay, so I don't sound like I'm proselytizing right now. You guys can hear me okay? By the way, for those who don't know, proselytizing means to like excessively preach, just a vocab word that I picked up recently. So there's a time in my life where I was not opting in. Last semester, I got broken up with, and it fucking sucked. It sucked. I was totally miserable, and I opted out of life. I let things pass me by. And I rode in the passenger seat of my own life, and I went through the motions. I got up, I went to class, I came home, I ate, I went to sleep. Also, I got a 4.0, and I got into all 4 grad schools I applied to, but that's really not important. Maybe it'd be better if I failed on my classes and didn't get into grad school, and I'm bumming it up, but I'm not. So there you go. But it sucked. And I opted out. And there's a quote from Ferris Bueller you guys might have heard before, which is this. It goes, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you can miss it. And these are all like different just versions of like it's that quote, different pictures of it. There's one problem. This is so corny. It's so corny, it's so trite, but it's so iconic. We love Ferris Bueller, and we love this movie, and we love this quote. And I realized recently for the first time in my life why this quote matters. And why, even though it's corny, why it helped me when I got my shit rocked. When I woke up every day to a swift little kick in my nuts. This is the thing that I could have used to get me out of it, to help me opt back in. And what I'm going to present to you guys today is an anthology of corny-ass quotes that, for me, have taken on a new meaning at this stage in my life. So, let's get started. And while you guys give me an applause, I'm going to take a sip of water. I'm so good. Let's start with this one. Going abroad changed my life. This thing changed my life. How many guys have heard this or even believe this? Show of hands. Show of hands. Not for me. Not for me. It did not change my life. And I was actually a little bit surprised. I gotta say, I felt kind of scammed because I wanted going abroad to change my life. I wanted Copenhagen, where I went abroad. Any Cope heads in here? Woo! Yeah, it was fucking lit, right? Copenhagen was really fun. It was opt-in city in Copenhagen. And it didn't change my life. Because I went to Copenhagen and I just had a good time. And I saw myself reflected in everybody there. a ton of lit-ass white dudes wanting to have a good time. I'm a lit-ass white dude, I want to have a good time, and so I did. And it was great, but it didn't change anything about me. I went to Copenhagen, and I was me. And I had yet to have had a life-changing experience, something that truly altered my view of the world, because I have lived a pretty awesome life. I am from New York City. I grew up with loving, supporting, amazing parents who gave me so much love and attention and a really small ego. And I made lots of friends, and I never got bullied. And I went to high school. I was a private school, hello. And then I made more friends there. And then I got to Wash U, which was my top choice, where I made more fruitful relationships and made friends and lost my virginity. What? That shit was crazy. So you can see that my life was going really, really well, and the general trajectory of it remained unblemished until I had a life-changing experience. And Copenhagen fit that schema of the world. It fit this schema of me going and having a good time and finding other people to go and have a good time, because my identity was reflected. It was affirmed in Copenhagen. Because wherever you go, there you are. Has anyone heard this before? Wherever you go, there you are, right? What the fuck are you talking about? What does that mean? This is some Dr. Seuss truism BS, okay? Wherever you go, there you are is so vague, and I used to think that this was silly. I used to think it was corny because it just sounds like it repeats itself. But I found that location in itself doesn't change your identity if your identity is just being reflected back onto you. Because I went to Copenhagen, and there I was. I was the same Nico McAvoy that I'd always been. I was ready to have a good time and meet new other people to have a good time, and so I did. Because wherever you go, there you are. And here's a little something to represent that. That's me on the left at Wash U, and that's me on the right in Copenhagen. And on the bottom right peeking out is my friend Ariel Hatton, who's also great. And I was me. I went there and I was me, and there was no big shakeups, and maybe I've said this a couple times, but I had a really fun time. And I was strong in my sense of self. But there was a time where I wasn't. And I found that there's actually one place in this whole world that when you go, will change your life. Boston! Boston, Massachusetts, baby! What you know about that? Fucking go back. What you know about that iconic skyline we all know and love? What you know about Dunkin' Donuts? What you know about Beantown? Good Will Hunting! I love Good Will Hunting. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. I love that movie. And during a time in my life where I felt like shit, this was Halloween weekend last semester, a couple weeks after the breakup, and I was opting out. I was not having a good time, but I wanted to opt in to do something for myself, for the sake of myself. So I went to visit one of my best friends in Boston. Her name is Soraya. We've known each other since we were in the 3rd grade, and she goes to Northeastern. And I went there to celebrate Halloween with her. And it was probably one of the best decisions that I've ever made in my life. I had so much fun. I was talking to everybody. It was like GTA, man. It's like no consequences. I'm just going around, I'm doing whatever, I'm saying whatever the hell I want, and it was beautiful. This is a picture of me talking to 3 women at the same time. What? That's never happened to me before. I got invited to one of their birthday parties the next day. We were already gonna go. I wasn't on the invite list. I got a separate invite from my friend. I put that shit on my resume, man. Boom, me and all my new friends that I made. Boom, beautiful tree that I saw in the park. Boom, my best friend Soraya and I on Halloween. And I saw a version of myself in Boston that I had forgotten about, because Soraya had known me forever. And she had laid the groundwork for me to come. She had all these great stories about me, all of our best memories, and she told people that, and people expected a version of Nico that I had lost. A version who was fun and extroverted and outgoing and vibrant during a time where I felt anything but. And I slipped back into that self. it was like an old pair of shoes. Like I was right back where I wanted to be. And it gave me an opportunity to opt in. I opted in so damn hard because I could, because I felt like I had the power to do that again, because wherever you go, there you are. And there I fucking was in Boston, Massachusetts. And this is another little diagram to represent that. That's me on the left at WashU being sad. That's me on the Boston being happy. Unlike the slide earlier, these are not the same. These are very different versions of Nico, and I saw that self reflected, that happy self that I had forgotten, and that was an amazing thing. And it was for a while, until I came back. Because wherever you go, there you are. You're so good at this, guys. Yeah, wherever you go, there you are. And I came back, and I was still myself. And in Boston, I was more myself than I ever had been. At WashU, I was the least myself I could possibly be. Because be yourself. Don't we hear that a lot? Your friend's like about to go on a date and it's like, oh my God, I'm so nervous. Like, what should I do? Like, what if they don't like me? Like, dude, just be yourself. Awful. Do not say that to people. That is a really, really bad piece of advice because of the way that we use it. It's like a social pacifier. We don't really mean it when we tell people to be themselves. We just mean you should like fucking give it a shot or whatever. It seems like a nice thing to say. But I found out for the first time what it was like to not be myself, to have to put in effort to be myself. And that was really strange for me because I never had to think about that before. I never had to consciously try to perform Nico McAvoy. Nico McAvoy had always been there, but for a while, he was not. And being myself became tough because I had to find myself again. And I feel like when we talk about finding ourselves, it's so mystical. Like I went to Bali and I took ayahuasca with the shamans and I found myself again. I think that that is so inaccurate. And that's not what it's like. I would say finding yourself is like stumbling around drunk in a dark room at 3 a.m. and then you trip over it and you look down and you're like, oh shit, I've been there the whole time. And then you have to pick yourself up again. And you have to pick up those pieces of yourself and you have to find out who you are. And that's what I did. I had to opt in to pick up those pieces of myself once again. And I picked up a lot and I left some shit behind and I picked some stuff up and I put it back down. But I had to choose to do that. And I'd never been given that opportunity before. And this was last semester, a time when I was not feeling like myself. I do sketch comedy and it was a sketch comedy show and I did not want to be there. I was totally miserable because my ex was directing the show. And so I had to be directed by her and I could not have wanted to be anywhere else. And I wasn't having fun and I didn't feel good. And at one point, I was sitting on the floor looking just morose and vibeless. I had my knees up to my chest and I was staring out into space. And my friend Uma, who was also directing the show, said, Nico, you look like a sad little Victorian boy right now. Why would she say that to me? That is such a mean thing to say. She knew exactly why I looked like such a sad little Victorian boy. I was in the worst mood I'd ever been in my life, and she called it out in front of everybody, and that snapped me out of it. Because that was how I was projecting myself onto the world. I was being a sad little Victorian boy. Normally, I'm a happy-go-lucky Victorian man. And that was an eye-opening experience for me. Because the next day, this is going through my head. I'm fresh off a conversation with my mom. And I was telling my mom how sad I was and how little fun I was having. And she was like, why? Like, this is what you love to do. This is who you are. You love being around these people. These are your best friends and they love you. And I was walking to rehearsal. I was listening to music and I just started running to rehearsal. I started sprinting. I sprinted all across the greenway, all up the bridge, down the stairs, and then that like quarter mile all the way to the village. I ran my white ass off And I felt amazing. It was like this weird horseshoe euphoria kind of thing where I was so fucking sad that I ended up being happy again. And I chose to have fun. And I did have fun and ended up being one of the finest weeks that I've had in college because I opted in. I opted into being me during a time when I didn't want to be me. And that action, that choice, has allowed me to start finding myself again. I don't want to say completely find myself because it's an ongoing process, but I feel more myself than I have in a long time. And I'm continuing to iterate on this version of Nico because I'm choosing to. And the more you choose to do something, the more you consciously choose to do something, the more it becomes subconscious. And the more you become the kind of person that does that thing. My mom, who's very relevant to this, as you can tell, told me that identity precedes behavior. Readers read. Runners run. If you opt in, you become someone who does opt in, but you have to do it first. And the goal of opting in, to do this to the subconscious, is to live in the moment. Fake. There is no moment. Don't go looking for it. But maybe I'm lying. Because the moment is actually something that you can find. You just don't know until you do find it. And it took me a while to find out what allowed me to live in this mythical moment. And this is another thing. We use this badly. Oh my God, I'm so stressed. You just live in the moment. Just be present. I'll kill you right now. That's not the kind of thing you want to hear when you're stressed out. But we found a new moment. As a generation, we have recoined the term flow state. Right? What is flow state if not living in the moment? That's our Gen Z way of saying it. And when you are in this complete and utter competence with yourself, when you are thinking and not doing, that is your flow state. In Boston, I was in flow state. And I didn't realize until after that, that's when I feel good. When I'm just being myself, not thinking about being myself, that's where flow state comes from. And I found a place, my own little Boston, if you will, here at Wash U. Bloobs! I fucking love Blueberry Hill. Bloobs is awesome. It's great. I go there, I see people that I know, I see people that I don't. I meet new people, I make new enemies, I make new friends. It's incredible. I get the $3.50 mystery beer and I drink a beer that I hate and I love it. It's awesome. And this was a great new discovery for me. This a place where I am in the zone, where I see someone that I want to talk to and I go up and talk to them and I don't think twice about it. That's the moment. You turn to someone, you say they have a nice jacket. You say, hey, you have a nice jacket. And then you talk to them. You see someone cute. You say, hey, what's your name? That's flow state. That's the moment. And this is an instinct that we suppress, is we see someone cool and we're like, oh, like they probably don't want to talk to me. Like they probably think I'm weird. That never happens. That's in your head. And I say that speaking from experience because I have a fear of rejection. I think it's a fear that we all have. And it's so hard to get over. But, ooh, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. That's true! That is so true. You really, let me just get the timing on that right. You really do miss 100% of the shots you don't take. And that is the worst. Do you know why? Because it means that you have to try. Ugh. Doesn't it suck when you realize that it actually is on you to change your shit? That is the worst. But that's what this is about. It's about trying and taking those shots. And I hate that the feeling is really on me. Because let me tell you, I've been trying to go out of my way to approach women, to get numbers, which is something that I have literally never done before in my life. And my parents asked me recently, they said, Nico, have you ever seen someone cute at a bar or at a party and just gone up and talked to them? And I said, no, I've never done that before. And they said, what the fuck is wrong with you? That was my parents' honest response to that. And you know what? They're right. Because I've been trying. And let me tell you, It's not working. It's not working at all. I'm striking out big time, man. Oh my God. You have never, it is just a desert. It's just a desert. And that is something that I've never experienced before because I had never been rejected, because I'd never tried to be rejected. And I had to realize I had a fear of something that I didn't even have any knowledge of. I had a fear of being rejected from never having been rejected, and now I've been rejected, and I gotta tell you, dude, it's not that bad. Because what sucks more? Getting no play because you don't try, or just getting no play? Think about that. At least I'm trying. Is it working? No. No, it's not. But I could stew in that, and I could say, wow, my life sucks. Or I can say, I'm fucking out here, man. This is the game, and I'm playing the game. And there was a while where I wasn't playing the game. And the two significant relationships that I've been in my life have been because the other person has approached me first. And that really validated my worldview in a way that was unhealthy because I sat back and I opted out. But now, for the first time, I'm getting after it and I'm trying to opt in. And that's what opting in is about. It's about taking shots. It's about giving yourself the opportunity to take those shots. And it has, in the realest sense, changed my life. Actually, sending that text, that email, asking for a letter of rec from a professor that you're not sure will say yes. Most of the time they will. And if they say no, okay, ask another one. Getting a number and then texting that person and then nothing coming of it, at least you're trying. At least you're opting in. And opting in can apply to any part of your life, but it's about not suppressing your instinct to do something that makes you uncomfortable. And that's what I've been doing. And it's definitely been going better than I expected. So my word to you is opt in and give it a shove. And that's my talk. Whoa. One more thing to show you. Ignore this. Please start a stat streak with me. And please fax me anything you want. This is a little comic that I found recently that's meant a lot to me. It's so beautiful, I might have never known. And this is what opting in is about. It's about being that dying anglerfish on the beach, but at least you're looking at the fucking sunset, man. Something to be said. But before I go, I want you to raise your hand if you're single. Raise your hands high. I see some people not raising their hands who should be raising it. Look around the room. Look around. Look at all these hot, single, eligible people. Sebi is uncuffed. That's a fucking travesty as far as I'm concerned. So we're gonna do a little opt-in exercise. You have 1 minute to get someone's number. Go. 1 minute on the clock. If you get someone's number, raise your hand, I'll stop the clock. I'm seeing some movement. I'm seeing some action. You have 30 more seconds.
It's very crackly on the back. Right. Oh, awesome. Okay.
Has anybody gotten a phone number? Raise your hand. You got a phone number? Let's go! Clap it up. Clap it up. Hey, man. Opt in. That's all I'm fucking saying. Thanks, bye.
We get one more big round of applause for Nico. Thanks for bearing with us, guys, for the technical stuff. Okay, so next up we have Sidra.
Before you go.
I used to hold the microphone up to my laptop.
You need to give me access to get your video.
Oh, yeah, that's
That was determinable by time. I was like, how?
my phone is seriously.
We're good. We just need to get access to your How are you? Oh wait, let me request. I request access to it.
My mouth was so dry. I remember having so much. And I couldn't stop.
Cover the slides. Okay. Wait, I'm going to cover it for a second. Sorry, spoiler. Sorry. Good? Okay. Hi, I'm Sidra. This is my K-Talk. So I want to thank first Matt and Cole and Elena for listening to me tell these stories a bunch of times, and then to Moises and Brent and Landon and my sister for giving me permission to tell funny stories about your private lives. So thank you. Okay, so can I have a laptop? Thank you. Okay, awesome. Okay. Okay, so like the good Wigs major I am, I'm going to start by talking about my boyfriend. But this is not a talk about my boyfriend. I used to be a very private person, and it still does sometimes make me closed off from the people that I love, and I find some things very hard to say out loud, but this is a talk about why you should say them anyway. So that is Moises. He's over there. And we started dating the summer before junior year, and 4 weeks into that relationship, we were on FaceTime. I was in Boston, he was here in St. Louis, And we were also watching Mr. Bean's Magic Holiday on Netflix Party while we were FaceTiming. And we were sending like funny messages and emojis back and forth in the chat box. Moises speaks Spanish, and I was learning Spanish, and so we were switching back and forth between Spanish and English. And he made some sort of stupid joke, something about Mr. Bean being his long-lost identical twin. And it made me laugh, and so in Spanish, I took a minute translating it in my head to type it out, like, how charming, I think you're charming. And I added like a bunch of smiley face emojis and a bunch of exclamation marks, and I sent the message, and Moises, who I'm also on FaceTime with, kind of blinks at the message and smiles and says, "You too." And about 2 days later, I'm sitting in my basement and I'm watching old SNL skits in the dark, as I do, and I'm watching this skit called Protected Mom, if anyone's ever seen it. It's with Marcelo Hernandez, Pedro Pascal, and Bad Bunny. And it's a skit where Marcelo Hernandez brings home his like very white, blue-haired liberal girlfriend who's very Hispanic, mom, Pedro Pascal, and aunt, Bad Bunny. I'm gonna play the clip. I'm not sure this is gonna work. Is your volume on by any chance? Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna have to figure out that audio thing. But so he just said, "Mamá, estoy enamorado de ella." Mom, I am in love with this girl. And I can't quite describe the feeling in my chest because I had this like crazy simultaneous, "Oh, that's how you say I'm in love with you" in Spanish. And also at the same time, "Oh, that's the message I sent in the chat box 2 days earlier to this guy that I just started dating." And I ran up to, it's like 2 in the morning, I ran up to find my laptop. The tab was still open, the chat was still open. And I hadn't actually called Moises charming, and I had completely fucked up the Spanish and translated it wrong, and that I had said, "I'm in love with you," to a guy I had started dating a month earlier with a bunch of smiley face emojis and exclamation marks, and it had this effect, more or less. There we go. And then I sent the message and smiled at him through the phone like it was the most normal fucking thing in the world. So I was mortified, I freaked out, and I'm thinking to myself, who the fuck says I love you after knowing someone for like 3 hours? And I panicked, and I called like 6 different friends, and I told them what happened, they all laughed at me. And I planned out a whole speech of what I'm gonna say to him the next day to like save just like being a freak. And so I call and I say, "I don't know if you remember the other night on the phone, we were watching a movie and texting and goofing off, and I sent you a message, and it said something in Spanish. And I meant to say that you were being charming, and instead I think I might have said something different, and if you don't remember, we can hang up now." And he interrupts me and he goes, "No, I remember." So and so I said, "Well, I didn't mean to say I'm in love with you. Don't worry, I'm not in love with you at all." And now I am a freak, because I'm pretty sure the only thing worse than saying I love you when you start dating someone new is saying I actually don't love you. And I had said the wrong thing twice. It was a mortifying experience. And by the grace of God, I didn't spook him, and he still stuck around. And we laughed about it afterwards, but I was just really mad at myself. And it wasn't because I had done something embarrassing. I was mad, probably also because there were parts of Moises that I was already starting to love, and I couldn't undo what I said, and now I felt like I was stuck in this "I don't love you," and I couldn't call him back and be like, "Just kidding," again. So, yeah. And the funny thing is that this is not the first time, or the second, or the third, or the 50th that I've freaked out over this fear of being too emotionally expressive with the people that I care about. Since I was young, I've had trouble telling the people that I love them. When I talk to my family on the phone, I tend to like always shroud under the veil of having a reason to call. One time I was on the phone with my brother and I was driving and I wasn't really paying attention, and at the end of the call, I sort of absentmindedly said, "Love you," and then I freaked out and hung up the phone really fast because that's not something I've ever said to my brother, and I didn't talk to him for a month afterwards. And I'm sure some of you have experienced this to varying degrees at some points in your life. You're maybe afraid to double text, or you make a new friend and you don't want to come on too strong, or you're talking with someone at a bar, hopefully Nico, and you want them to make a move instead of you. My most obviously egregious act of emotional avoidance was when I dropped out of college freshman year and told literally nobody why. I had severely untreated anxiety, depression, and panic disorder, and it was bad enough. I started to not be able to sleep or eat or go to class. So I decided to leave on the second Monday of the spring semester of freshman year, and I was gone by Tuesday night. It was a really fast turnaround. Oops. Can we bring that back? No, that's okay. And I only told the 4 people I absolutely had to tell. One of them was my mock trial team captain. One of them was the group coordinator for the a cappella group, Ghost Dom. One of them was one of my 5 suite mates, so she could pass along the message to the rest of them. And then they all wrote me a card, and I feel really bad that I didn't tell all of them. And then I did tell one friend, but it was literally only because she intercepted me in the duck while I had this like giant like armful of things, and she was like, "Where are you going?" And I was like, "The airport." And then I had to tell her. And I told like nobody else. And oh god, there that is again. Still haunts me. And I left. And of course, people reached out being like, "Hello, where are you? And why didn't you say anything?" It's okay. I have a really funny example on the next slide, though, so I need it. There we go. So I have so many messages like this. Hi, Samith, wherever you are. But yeah, it was, of course, people reached out like, "Hello." But yeah, and there's people even sitting right here, right now, and I'm looking at you, who reached out to me, who I was friends with then, who I didn't tell that I was leaving, which is crazy to me now. And I'm sorry, because it wasn't a sign of my lack of care, and because so much has changed. But I left, and I got help, and I took the time off, and I came back, and that's like a whole story of itself, but it got way better. And I came back sophomore year, and college was wonderful and fun and exhilarating and like stupid in all the right ways for so many reasons. But the main reason is that I made myself a promise that I wasn't going to just like wither away silently. And I began to meet people who taught me how to be more open in this way. So here's one of them. This is my friend Brent. He's over there. And he was one of my suite mates in Greg's sophomore year. We didn't meet until move-in day. He was very easy to live with. He was quiet and friendly, and he was a very picky eater, so he never stole my snacks. But it definitely took us some time to get to know each other because he's very private like me in a little bit of a different way. So when all of us suite mates shared our location with each other at the beginning of the year, he did not share his location with us. He didn't let me see the inside of his bedroom, like his dorm room, until the last day of school. I still don't know why. And he told me that he's super not touchy-feeling and he does not like to hug his friends and it's not his thing. Okay, duly noted. And I would come home late sometimes like drunk from a frat party, and I would enter the common room and he'd be just like hanging out on the couch. So I'd sit and we would talk about literally anything and everything under the sun until the sun was coming up. And because I would come home drunk from a frat party semi-consistently, I little by little got to know my roommate Brent. And so the months go by, and we keep having these late night existential crises together, and we grew pretty close. And then all of a sudden it was May, and it's my last day in St. Louis, and the two of us are the only 2 people left in the dorm. And we're doing what we always do, which is sit on the couch and talk. But I have a flight to catch, so I stand up with my 2 big suitcases, and then Brent stands up, and we look at each other. We know that like we're not going to be living together junior year, so it's the end of an era. And this is normally the moment when people would hug goodbye. I'm not normal and Brent's not normal. So instead I grab his hand and I force him to give me a strong corporate handshake, and I say, "Well, see you never." And I walked out of the dorm. And I'm in the Greg hallway, and I'm like trying to get down to the clock tower with my mammoth suitcases. And Greg's like that really long hallway, and I live at one end, so I'm almost by the door. And then I hear behind me, "Sidra, wait." And I turn around, and very painstakingly down the hallway, Brent is walking. And he finally comes to the door, and his face is kind of stone cold. And he goes, "I am going to hug you goodbye now." And then still very slowly, he hugs me goodbye. And it was very normal, except for the fact that it wasn't at all normal. And I don't know, I was touched. Like, I figured it was hard for him to hug me, and it was definitely like weird and hard to say out loud. And I just knew he had put something on the line for me to do that. And then I made another friend. This is my friend Landon. He's also here somewhere. Landon's a junior and joined the a cappella group a year after I did. Last September, Landon was going through a hard time. His grandfather, who he's close with, had passed away, and he and I went on a long walk around campus late the night he found out. And we sat down at one point on this bench in front of Lopata, the building, not the place to live. And yeah, our legs were tired, and we just kept talking while we were sitting there. And then out of nowhere, Landon says to me, "I feel really weird." And he won't look at me. And I'm worried he's gonna start crying or throwing up or something. And he says, still without looking at me, "I really need a hug." And then he looks at me out of the corner of his eye. And then really fast, hugs me so tight, which again is like normal, but not normal. And I can feel his heartbeat drumming fucking wildly. And I'm not a doctor, but that's definitely not normal. And then he lets go, and I'm like, "Are you good?" And he tells me that that was a really hard thing for him to do because he really needed a hug, but it's hard for him to hug his friends. He worries about crossing boundaries or making people uncomfortable. He admits how he was nervous to hug me and that he was worried I would find him weird and off-putting. And it's like it's 1 a.m. outside of Lopata, and I do find him slightly strange and slightly off-putting, but not because he hugged me. It was because he got nervous, and that made me nervous. And that same exact feeling in my chest, that the "do we have to talk about it" feeling that I felt all my life, sort of just like rises up in my throat. But I'm trying to resist the urge to crack a joke or make it weird or brush it off, because I can so clearly see that, much in the same way it was hard for me to be so open and honest in front of the people that I care about. It was hard for Landon, and it was hard for Brent too. But that they were a lot braver than I was about it. They were scared to hug me, and they did it anyway. So at this point, I do have to acknowledge like the maleness of all of this, because I just told you 3 stories about boys, and I want to say that I have very strong female friendships, but it's definitely socially different with girls in this way. It's much easier to be openly affectionate, to like send heart emojis and to call and just say, "Hi, I miss you," just cause. But I want to be able to say hard things out loud to everyone, no matter who I'm talking to. And I've only met one person in my entire life completely unafraid to say scary things out loud. This is my sister. Her name's Genevieve. I call her Jenna. It's a childhood nickname that she's working hard to kick, but I just can't seem to kick it. She's just under 4 years older than me, and she's cognitively disabled. She has something called periventricular heterotopia, which means that when her brain was developing in utero, clusters of neurons never migrated from her brainstem in the way that they're supposed to do. So she's physically very normal looking and able, but she functions cognitively and intellectually at the level of like a 3rd grader. She doesn't know, for instance, how to use an oven or order an Uber. And she can't this is hard to explain, but she can't understand abstract concepts super well, like the nitty gritty head stuff about politics or religion. And the question that people ask me far more than any other question I've been asked in my entire life is, "You have a sister?" Which is not the question you'd think you get asked the most, and says everything about me and literally nothing about her. She's a card that I've kept very close to my chest, only partly out of protection for her, because, kids are mean and impatient, and it was hard for her growing up, but it's also definitely selfishly out of protection for myself, because if you haven't figured it out by now, some things are hard to say out loud. But Jenna forces me all the time, against my will, to be more open. She has a more limited set of critical reasoning skills, but because of that, she doesn't seem to suffer from the same paralyzing fear of emotional vulnerability that feels like it constantly plagues the rest of us. So last semester, I interviewed her for a final paper I was writing for my disability studies class, which I did not want to take that class, kind of on brand. I just didn't think that would be good for me. but I ended up being the only class that fit my schedule in order to finish the Wix major on time. And for my final paper, I decided to interview Jenna as a sort of like a pedagogical exercise to teach her one of our course readings from the semester, because I was tired of talking about disabled people when there weren't disabled people in the room. And obviously there's reasons for that. And like college can be inherently exclusionary and it sort of has to be in some ways, but yeah, I just kind of abandoned the prompt entirely, and I hope that was okay with my professor. So she was very nervous for the interview. She knew that school was something she could barely grasp, and I repeatedly told her that she wasn't being tested, and that any answer was a good answer, and that any question was a good question, and that just talking to her about it would help me write my paper. And despite not really grasping the mechanics of what I was doing or the spirit of why I was doing it, she helped me out. And we talked for an hour, which is also probably the longest conversation I've ever sustained with her. And I lobbed question after question after her, and she handled it very well. I learned a lot about her, that it was very hard for her to grasp an abstract concept like institutional discrimination, but that she knew that in middle school, she had teacher's aides and an IEP and was in a special ed program, and that people were mean to her because she took a long time to respond and didn't always understand what was going on around her. So I want to play a little audio clip. I'm going to try this from my own computer and hold the microphone up to it and pray that it works. It's from the interview. It's 90 seconds. It's the very last 90 seconds, and it's for me the most important 90 seconds. So let's see if I can get this going. Yes. Not that scary, right? No. Okay, good. Here, I'll stop recording. Or is there anything else you want to say? When are you coming home? I'm coming home next week. Next Thursday, maybe? I'm only gonna see you for one day. I'm leaving next Friday. Damn it. That's okay. When are you in Florida until? The 4th? The 4th? Well, I'll be here for 3 days when you get back. Oh, I'm only gonna see you for like 4 days. Sorry, Trevor. But then I'm gonna see you again maybe in March, and then you're gonna come to graduation in May. Alrighty then. Thanks for chatting with me. You're welcome. I love you, sis. I'll send you the final written thing, okay? You don't even have to read it because it's gonna be long. It's gonna be like 10 pages. Oh, okay. But I'll send it to you anyway if you want to look at it. Okay, I'll see you next week. I'll see you next week. I love you. Bye. Okay, and I should have said this before I meant to, but I got her full permission to share all this and share that clip. I talked to her and I explained to her what I'm doing, and yeah, I meant to say that before. Every single time I listen to this clip, and I've probably listened to it like 50 times since December, I get that familiar feeling in my chest, the fear of being open and affectionate and owning the love that I feel so deeply for the people that I love, for my sister, who's probably the only person on planet Earth that I would jump in front of a moving car to push out of the way. During the interview, after probably asking her 200 lofty and boring and abstract questions about public education and American history and freedom of speech, the only thing she wanted to know was when I was coming home to visit her again. She's so openly willing to tell me that she misses me. I think she demonstrates better than I could ever articulate in that clip that she's smarter and braver than anyone I know in this way, including myself. There have been many times in my life that I wish she didn't demand so openly of me, that I say, I miss you too, that I say I love you too, or that I give her a hug, hello, and goodbye, and tell her that she's the most wonderful sister in the world, because sometimes I just want to smack her. But she finds it much easier to grasp material, concrete, lived experiences, and there's absolutely nothing more real and tangible and accessible to her, to any of us, that the reality we love the people that make our lives loud and textured and colorful. The way that Brent and Landon were afraid to hug me and admitted it and then did it anyway. It's a bravery I struggle with all the time, but like my sister, she does it all the time, every day, and she doesn't even waver. If you can see that. I have too many messages like this to fit on the screen. These are all from her. I want to be more like her, more committed to declaring that I care so deeply for my friends, that I always, always miss my family, and that the people that make up my village are important to me that way, that like breathing is. But I can still count on my fingers the number of people I've told at this school that they are important to me. And I still have so many people left to go. Most of us in the room right now are seniors and are about to be making a whole lot of goodbyes. And it is really scary and easy to feel like you're coming on too strong or being too cringy or too lovey-dovey or whatever. And I know that fear so well. But I want to know that even when I tell someone I'm in love with them over Netflix party, even when I didn't mean to, that I'm brave enough not to take it back just because I'm afraid. And I'm like praying I never find myself in a situation like that ever again. But maybe if you do, you might be brave not to take it back either. Or maybe you'll be like my wonderful, wonderful friends who are afraid to hug me and then hug me anyway. Thank you so much.
One more round of applause for Sidra. Okay, everyone, we're gonna take a 10-minute break to stretch our legs. There's a bathroom up the stairs. If you just go straight, you'll see it. And yeah, I'll see you back in 10.
Where's Scott? We left. After he goes. No, just after. Oh, just now. Both of them? All of them? All of them? Not experience. Oh shit, I'm in a live stream. Wait, I have to like go outside and say, are they over there? I can't. Oh, I know. Yeah. It's size. Size.
I
12 hours. 13.
like having stuff. So you guys should
So I feel like there's a little bit of I get like a
wait, that's super. Oh yeah.
oh yeah. When did you leave?
I got there at 1:30. So I got there, they were playing Sexy Red, and I didn't take it.
Why?
Yes.
Well, I was telling Edith that like we came at whatever the block.
And then I went up to the DJ and I said, I'm still moving.
And talking about his boys.
Yes. Were you there for close?
Like,
So,
You got a number?
like, West Point West? Absolutely.
what?
Let's take a look at the tabs.
I have a big I swear, maybe to the strike.
Even that's like, what? And then something like it's like scary. Okay. Yeah. Like I can't.
Yeah.
It's like breastfeed kid, it's not doing that setting. Do it in like the settings
I know.
on the chair over there.
There's chairs.
I came at one time.
You came
All right.
I came at 6:45.
What the hell?
But they've been here before. I know it's like. Sorry for screwing you over. Oh. So my Venmo is.
Yeah.
This
It's for the cup. Oh wait, actually, I'm not telling you in Ktalks.
About how
Oh, yeah. I was saying I can kind of a small sliver. I just the lighting is not great. I agree. I remember but the lighting in the picture.
Blame them.
I know, I just saw that. That was
Already.
It's never been split here down here. Yeah, that's all. Can I do it on You're doing so well. I'm so sorry. Wait, okay, that was good. I'll give you your joy. That was really like I'm very funny. Okay. We're so excited. I was thinking, okay, it's just in case projected them and set up. Make a joke around everything. Okay, fine. That's all I got. Okay, I'm on through. Where we go? Do you have this?
It's like one of the most